All right. Ms. Mellard, you get the first response to this next question. Do you believe the county employees should make a reasonable attempt to purchase their goods from local businesses within the county before importing goods and services from without, such as sheds, custom shirts, auto parts, food, videography service, and catering?
Okay, so somebody is now interested for government to tell them where they should and should not buy things, is what I'm getting from that question. I would disagree with that completely. I think we need to encourage local shopping. However, if we're going to go into a store or to a restaurant or to get gasoline or whatever the case may be, and it is double or triple than if we travel an hour northwest, east, then understand that we are trying to be as frugal as possible in order to do as much for our families that we can. So dictating government, here we go again. No, I wouldn't be interested in taking away someone's freedom where they can and can purchase things. That just seems ridiculous to me. Did I misinterpret the question?
Yeah, perhaps for clarification, that was county, not individuals, but county employees. Did I state that clear enough? It is actually directing county employees to purchase goods, not individual people. Do you have a different response to that?
It's the same thing.
Well, not with county funds.
So the government's going to tell county employees where they can buy. So I'm definitely misinterpreting this question. Are you talking about purchasing
for the county?
For items for the county?
For the county, yes, yeah. It's for the county, for county use utilization.
Okay, yeah, I totally misinterpreted that. So here we go again, same thing. Our government is our family, and they're trying to get as much as possible as they can with what they have. So look, it's hard for our locals. Yes, I would encourage where we are, for the majority of the time, purchasing from local. However, if we can substantially save, I am on a very conservative side of spending money. If we can substantially save, if we're only going to save $400, then yes, let's go local. But if we are going to substantially save by hundreds of thousands of dollars, then
okay,
we're going to need to do just like you would for your family, the best.
Give you a little extra time because I messed it up in the first time. You didn't get it right, but let's get on to Marty's response.
Sure.
Then we'll get another minute.
It'll be quick. We always get quotes from several places. If there's one available from Eureka County, we do give it some preference, in my opinion. So, yeah, unless it's way out of line, we obviously give preference to our local businesses.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 1 minute to respond to that. Anything else you'd like to add, Ms. Mellard?
I agree.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
Anything further you'd like to add, Marty? All right. Fantastic. All right, we'll move on to the next one. You will get the first response, Mr. Plaskett. If you are elected, how will you make the county government more transparent and accessible to the people?
Any way I can without spending more money. But we looked just recently at a video streaming option for the commissioner meetings. It was interesting, but it was going to be costly, and it was only going to be, we couldn't have a two-way conversation without getting two-way voice, without it getting hard to control, and people leave their phones on, on Zoom and stuff. So we settled with the option of having it, you can call in, listen to the meeting. For people that can't make it down to the meeting, obviously, we want to extend that to those folks, but we weren't in support of spending a whole bunch of money to be on TV. When we make it very accessible and we make every attempt to make it accessible to everyone.
2 minutes to respond.
Transparency is very important to me. I'm not a politician. I'm just an Italian American girl who's fulfilling her homestead dream, and have a lot of people coming at me saying we don't have representation. So I jumped in because I feel like I'm a servant, and servants want to help. So there has been several steps that have been taken on the county level for transparency, things that are being said and done from the meetings to attendance to the meetings. They've made grave efforts for the website. At one time, we went to the website, we clicked on a button, and it was a blank page. So there has been a great deal of time and effort in order for there to be things more transparent. The only thing that I can think of at this point is we have a lot of advisory boards and committees and things like that that are an initiative to get the public more involved. I love this. But we do have some communication issues. For example, on those boards where particular areas in the county, people haven't even heard that those positions are open. Not everybody, remember, 67% in Eureka and Crescent Valley, Diamond Valley, and the most populated areas are 60 and older. Not everybody is on the internet. So I think, unfortunately, some more paper. Let's hang some more paper in
All right.
heavily
10 seconds.
circulated areas, so where hopefully there
All
can
right.
be more people
Let's
who
have
will see these things.
Marty's 1 minute response to that.
Nothing further to add, thanks.
Okay. I suppose you can keep going then. One more minute.
Never mind.
Okay. Very good.
Sorry.
All right. Mr. Plaskett, you get the first response on this one. What budgetary items would you increase and what items would you decrease?
Show me the budget and I'll let you know. I've been through it twice, and like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. So to sit here and tell you it's going to be one area or another is not being truthful. You have to look at the whole picture. You have to understand all the moving parts and see what makes most sense. But it's really nothing that you can decide ahead of time.
2 minutes to respond.
Again, I'm being very repetitive, but again, this would be something that I would want input from the people of Eureka County. I would want to create a team. So where this isn't something, this is what I am wanting to do. I think we've kind of lost what representation of the people is all about in several kinds of ways. So I truly mean that I am wanting to represent what the people of Eureka County want. This is not about me. This is not about what I want, what I don't want to do, what I do want to do. I want to be able to create a united team in the county so where we can come together and we can decide what changes that we want, what changes we don't want, and be a true representative, a true advocate. So if I am given a budget and I have absolutely no input, I've elected you, do the job, then I would want to be able to look at everything as a whole in order to see where there is a need and where there is not a need. I do think we have some waste that's going on in the county. And to sit down and actually look at all of this, I haven't been given the opportunity to do so. So once I am given that opportunity, then I'll be glad to voice the opinion of the Eureka people and what it is that they're wanting and not wanting.
10 seconds.
All right. 1 minute to respond, Mr. Plaskett.
Yes, I think that from my experience, it isn't so much the individual residents that we rely on the most information on the budget-wise. I mean, it's department heads in particular are excellent comptroller. And just someone who has the whole picture, because it's easy to get it fragmented and not understand the connections, and if we do this, then it affects this, and this isn't legal, and we've been there before. And so it's just a lot of moving parts. I know that's not a cop-out, it's just the way it is, and we make the best decisions based on the best input, and it primarily comes from the department heads.
1 minute to respond. Ms. Mellard, anything?
Absolutely, department heads are important, and those are the people that you rely on. The team that has been created in order to make it so where everything is understood. I also think that the commissioners need to be aware of what the laws are and not codependent upon just the department heads to tell them what they should and shouldn't do. So yes, their input is valuable, but there's more constituents throughout the county than just the department heads. And this is really about what the people want. And that's what I'm interested in.
All right. You get the first response on this next question. Ms. Mellard? It has been alleged that Eureka County pays for unnecessary out-of-state travel for employees. Do you believe this is correct? And if so, what is your view on county paid out-of-state travel?
Part of running a municipality is out-of-state travel. It's that simple. There's our particular meetings that have to be attended to by our department heads, by the commissioners, by the people who are involved with running the county. There is training sessions, and there is, again, meetings and platforms that are necessary for them to go to, so where they can be trained, be informed, and know exactly how to handle a particular new law or information that is being passed down. As far as having an abuse of travel on the taxpayer's dime, I think that needs to be looked at individually. And if, for whatever reason, we have the majority that is not wanting this travel, then we would need to be informed so where we can make a decision or vote towards a decision that is going to curtail that.
You have 2 minutes, Mr. Plaskett.
I support and encourage employees extending education and trainings. It's really nice when it's not halfway across the country, but if it isn't available, then I still support that expense because we encourage people to better themselves. We like to promote within. The departments that go over budget on their training budget, then will probably be more scrutinized. But we encourage, as a standard rule, we encourage the education and training, and it costs money. Some stuff's online. You can sit. A lot of it's in person, or you need to be there. So we support it. I support it.
1 minute response, Ms. Mellard? Anything?
No, thank you. No.
Mr. Plaskett? All right. First response to the next question, Mr. Plaskett. It has been suggested by some that television is obsolete. What do you think should be done with the Eureka Television District?
We have a television board for that. And there's surprisingly number of people and residents that still utilize that service. Or it would obviously be defunct by now, in my opinion. We pay a lot more money for dish and all that kind of stuff that we're used to, but particularly low-income, fixed-income people, I think, appreciate that service still being available. So if they can maintain it with a reasonable budget, then I see no reason to support it, not to support it.
2 minutes, Ms. Mellard?
I'm in support of the TV district. I am a proponent to the benefit of free television. I think we're all currently paying around 73 cents for this. I do have some issues with it. It is a current frequent flyer of channels going down on a constant basis. What do you do about that? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have the technical education in order to understand the dynamics. I've never been anywhere where the television has ever gone down like it does. So I do think there needs to be some improvements. They have quite the budget. But I am in support of it. Again, we have a number of people who are not able to pay $80 to $100 a month for cable television, or to stream, or to whatever other avenue that's being used outside of the digital TV.
1 minute to respond, Mr. Plaskett?
Nothing further, thank you.
Anything else? Ms. Mellard? Anything?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Perfect. All right, you'll get first response, Ms. Mellard, on this next question. Are there any unpaved roads that you would pave during your term?
We have so many unpaved roads in Eureka County that I'm not sure that we would even be close to having the kind of money. It's $1 million a mile in order to pave. I know this has been a priority in particular areas. And again, I would want to vote yes or no to what the people are wanting. I do not have a particular road that I am wanting to pave. I do think we have some roads that we need to address that are safety issues. We have 18-wheelers that are running down some of these roads, and they create dust plumes, and you cannot see. That is a safety issue. Does it mean I want to pave it? No. It means here's the problem. How are we going to solve it outside of spending $1 million a mile? I don't think that would be something that's feasible unless, again, we could get a piece of the pie of the grant. There is infrastructure money that is out there, hundreds of millions of dollars, that could help us with these things. But I don't have any particular road that's in mind. Again, it would be If I have people who are concerned with a particular area and there's a safety issue, then let's sit down and figure out how we can make the people in Eureka County safe.
2 minutes, Mr. Plaskett.
I don't have a road either that I would pave, but just the maintenance upkeep of the ones that we have is a major chore, and trying to identify and which ones need what and when we can afford to do it. So it's a constant challenge and a little bit of a changing target. But we've enjoyed a lot of paved roads and a lot of improvements in Crescent Valley in the last few years also that is greatly appreciated. So we look forward to just maintaining what we've got, and if it's in the cards to do more, we certainly will.
Any response, Ms. Mellard?
No, sir.
Anything, Mr. Plaskett? Okay. We'll move on. You'll get Mr. Plaskett, you'll get first response in this next one. What specific changes to road maintenance would you implement?
We were just talking about upkeep on what we've got, and it's a daunting task. I think currently we're probably looking at doing some crack sealing now that the weather has cooled off. But it comes back to the general idea that maintenance is what has kept these roads usable as long as they've been around. I've lived on a couple different of them, and they've been there a long time. So it's just a maintenance issue, and priorities will be looked at and addressed as we see fit, and the budget supports.
2 minutes to respond, Ms. Mellard.
If I'm understanding correctly, we have 3 different phases to the roads and to the road maintenance. And I may have that confused a little bit, where it's a 3-phase project just in order to complete the roads throughout the county. We have a lot of roads here. From the people that I have spoken to, I understand that we are in need of more employees in order to get done the task at hand, in order to take care and maintain the roads. Not only as far as any kind of chipping, but taking care of keeping the ice and the snow off of the roads as well. So it's not just a seasonal job. I am not opposed to seasonal jobs. Some people have been opposed to seasonal jobs and hiring somebody, and then, okay, they're going to have to find another job. But sometimes we can find people in our communities that are only interested in seasonal jobs. That's when they would like them. So I think that where I am, I understand that there is a need of 2 to 3 more people in order to keep up with the roads on the north end of the county. As far as the south end of the county, I am not quite sure. I do understand that there are some people in Diamond Valley that are interested in some more maintenance and roads. I've heard that briefly. Let's give people a job so where we can handle the task
10
at
seconds.
hand.
1 minute to respond, Mr. Plaskett. Anything?
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay. You have another minute, Ms. Millard, if you'd like to say anything to continue.
No, okay.
All right. All right. Let's see. Mr. Millard, the first response on this question. What do you think of the county's current efforts to prevent weeds, and what changes would you make?
From what I understand, in order to prevent weeds, you have to create a district. There is a little extra tax that is associated with creating the district, and then the county will come out and they will spray for weeds. I'm sure that's just the bare minimum of knowledge concerning this issue. Where I live, there is innoxious weeds that are not native to this land everywhere. How do you fix that? How I'm being told to fix that is that we are to report it to the state, just like the Mormon crickets, which is what I do. On a county level, again, here we go again. So my intention is to do what it is that the people want to do. This is not something that Tracey is wanting to do. So if I have people come to me and say, Tracey, we want to get rid of these weeds, then I would take the necessary steps in order to research and learn what needs to be learned so where we can solve the problem. So I'm about, here's the problem, how do we solve it, and taking those actions in order to do so. Sometimes there is a cost of money, and if that is the case, then you would create the district, and similar to Diamond Valley, where they have a weed district, there's extra money that they pay in taxes, so where they do not have that issue.
All right, 2 minutes to respond, Mr. Plaskett.
Yes, I'm familiar only with the Diamond Valley Weed District because we pay a tiny portion of our tax. Goes to fund that department, and it's run by the Natural Resources Department head, and I hear no complaints. I mean, there's a lot of weeds. There's no doubt. They make a concentrated effort to attack the worst areas. And if you call, they will come. So if the north end would like something similar, then you're gonna have to address it, fund it through the tax base like we have in the south.
1 minute response, Ms. Mellard, anything?
No, sir.
Mr. Plaskett, anything further?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Plaskett, you'll get first response to this next question. Should the county ordinance prohibiting the sale of fireworks be rescinded in Eureka County?
I don't have a strong opinion. Did I tell you I've been here all my years, and town almost burned down from a firework one time. So, and I'm on the volunteer fire department. So we have responded to some calls that were fireworks that weren't allowed and started from fires that started from fireworks. So I don't have a lot of strong opinions in repealing that. I think it's just a public safety issue, and don't think it's worth the risk.
2 minutes, Ms. Mellard.
I understand that this is NRS, not just on a county level. So I might be mistaken. I understand that this is a state law that, so I'm not sure that we can go above and beyond. We just talked about a bunch of weeds. This is where we live with a bunch of weeds. So I don't know that it would be something that I would be in favor of unless, again, I have people come to me and say, well, look, we want to blow our own fireworks. Again, that would have to be a majority, not one person or two people, but a majority of people who've come together and it's something that they're wanting to change. Then looking into whether or not that change can even take place, because this is on a state level. But I would definitely look into it and research it and find out what the dynamics are, so where we can accommodate the people, what they're wanting to do. I think it's a high safety risk personally. We're currently under a burn ban, and I can't, I mean, I've posted, 10 fires in a week. So, again, it would have to be something that's looked at if there is a majority of people.
And for just general law purposes, it is legal in the state of Nevada. Actually, other counties allow the sale of fireworks, so it is simply county ordinance, in fact, that prohibits it. So the county commission board could theoretically make it legal within the county. It is not illegal in the state.
Okay.
With that said, any 1 minute response, Mr. Plaskett?
Weed is also illegal. Correct?
Anything? Yes.
Okay, just checking.
That might be the next question. Anything, and Ms. Mellard?
Excuse me?
Anything? You get 1 minute response?
No, no.
Okay.
No. It's not illegal through the state. It's something that is just illegal here in the county. County commissioners are supposed to be people who are representatives of the voice and the body of the people who live in the county. That's the way I will vote.
All right. All right. Tracey, you get the first response to this next question. Do you believe the county ordinance prohibiting the sale of marijuana in Eureka County should be rescinded?
Oh, me first.
Yes, you first. Yeah.
And it is something that has been readily accepted in our state. So again, if this is something that we have the majority of the people are wanting to rescind, then I would not have a problem with voting yes to allow. I know we have a particular store that is wanting to hold stakes. It's actually would be right outside on the borderlines of Eureka and Carlin. However, there's certain things and traditions that have been happening here in Eureka for a very, very long time. I think it's important for us to be able to be advocates as well on the culture and on the things that we have done in Eureka for hundreds of years since we have settled here in 1866. Those are things that need to be preserved as well. So there's a couple of things that are illegal, that and prostitution too. And if the majority, yay or nay, this would be input that I would need to hear. So where I would know what decision to make. I personally do not have a problem with a cannabis store on the north end of the county if this is going to create more revenue and that the laws of smoking marijuana
10 seconds.
are treated the same as drinking and driving.
All right, Mr. Plaskett, you have 2 minutes to respond.
I support the current county ordinance that does not support it. That doesn't mean that's not happening, but we do not support.
Sorry. What?
I just support the ordinance as it is.
Thank you. Anything further, Ms. Mellard?
No.
All right. We'll move on. Anything further, Mr. Plaskett? Okay. In that case, next, you, Mr. Plaskett, have first response. Should the county pool and/or opera house be privatized?
The county pool or the opera house be privatized. I don't understand why, but I'm open to, if someone has a better business model, then we are creating that in that sense, then I'm open to suggestions, but right off the top, I do not support that.
2 minutes, Ms. Mellard.
I would say that it's not something that I support. Again, input from the people, if this is the majority. I do make decisions that I don't necessarily always agree with. So I'm not understanding why there would want to be a desire for that, especially since Eureka County funded a lot of this. These should be both embraced by anyone and everyone rather than some kind of membership. There's better ways to generate funds. So it's not something that I would generally support, but again, I'd be interested in more input concerning that.
Anything further you'd like to respond with, Mr. Plaskett?
No, sir.
Anything further, Ms. Mellard?
No, sir.
All right. All right, Ms. Mellard, you have the first response on this. What changes, if any, would you make to the Eureka Canyon subdivision?
I have no knowledge of the Eureka Canyon subdivision. So there would be currently no changes whatsoever. Again, these would be issues that would need to be brought to my attention. I'm not sure what kind of issues or problems are going on.
Very good. 2 minutes, Minister Plaskett.
We have made some changes to the purchase agreements to encourage sale of lots, obviously, to convert them from vacant land to home sites. So I support anything that continues to encourage that build out, and maybe someone will also offer a couple more than one colors to the 5 houses that are there.
Anything you'd like to add, Ms. Mellard?
I agree. We'd add more color.
Anything further, Mr. Plaskett?
And some vegetation. I also support some green space or some kind of tree program or something for that area.
Very good. All right, you get first response on this next one, Mr. Plaskett. Do you believe zoning should be instituted in Eureka County?
I do not. It's my base opinion of less government, but zoning brings with it more than intended. Those services are, it's kind of like grants. There'll be a lot of stuff come with it that you're not particularly fond of, and I don't think we need it.
2 minutes, Ms. Mellard.
I do not support any added zoning codes, building codes, anything like that.
Very good. Anything further you'd like to add, Mr. Plaskett?
No, sir.
Anything further, Ms. Mellard?
No.
All right. So, Ms. Mellard, you'll get this first response to this next question. This will be the last one, and then we'll proceed with your closing statements. All right. Should the people run the government, or should the government run the people? Expound upon your views in detail.
We the people. I don't think that, I think that's part of our problem today. Got a lot of long-term career politicians who are more interested in money and title than they are in representing and serving the people. This is a problem, a challenge that we are facing as a nation and on state level. I've never lived in a democratic state, so this is a major change, having to deal and overcome with a total opposite point of view and having to work and negotiate so where the people are actually being represented. We've lost this. So I am about we the people, less freedoms being taken away, and but that also leaves us responsible for becoming involved. It leaves us responsible to step up and say how we are feeling or what is incurring, in our life, how we can help to better not only your life. We the people, it's a team. We have to do this together. Hiring somebody, voting for somebody for a position, and then going, okay, you do the job, and then becoming upset because they're not doing the job quite like you imagined. We have responsibilities where we need to step up and stand up for what it is that we believe in and tell our representatives what
10
we
seconds.
want.
2 minutes, Mr. Plaskett.
I agree with those statements. It's hard. It's nice to see young people get involved, such as yourself and your team, in the democratic process right here tonight. But I had no desire to do this for a long time. I mean, it's something that you either have or it kicks in a little later when you feel it's your turn to give back and to contribute. But it is nice to see. If you can get any way we can get the younger generation involved sooner in this, is all the better. They've got a lot of fresh ideas. Some of our ideas get a little stale, and I'm okay with that too.
1 minute response, Ms. Mellard.
No, sir.
Anything further, Mr. Plaskett? All right.
Where I volunteered is when I became a board member at a soup kitchen that was not getting $1 in donations each month. And by the time I left, we were receiving an average of $4,000 a month in donations from grants, corporations, and the community. I am now a farmer, loving life on a hobby farm on 120 acres, where my husband and I are fulfilling our off-grid homestead dream and hope to one day become a source of food in our community. We believe becoming self-sufficient is important in today's times. Another example where lots of leadership skills that I gained was 10 years that I spent in the Civil Air Patrol, an auxiliary of the United States Air Force. I was a volunteer who recruited the most cadets and senior members across the nation in order to create a squadron that had pilots for search and rescue. I was the ES training director, professional development officer, who gave a 100% to ensure that we were bar none. I helped kids who were 12 years old, shy and unsure of themselves, turn into strong, wise, problem-solving leaders who ran their own squadrons. With a lot of prayer, I decided to become a candidate for commissioner because I've been listening to fellow Eurekans genuinely concerned about the lack of representation throughout our county. The lack of is no reflection to anyone. However, the districts are very large, and what may be a challenge where I live may or may not be a challenge in another area. This is why I believe having representation where a person lives is very important. This has been my mission to help those within the community for the past 20 years, to pay it forward, to be a servant. Leaders and decision makers need to be a servant to serve the people. To get somewhere you never had, to get something that you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. So I feel that I have to get out there. I have to give it my all, whether it's my time, talent, skill, prayers, treasures. I have found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. This county and the people that live here are worth any risk to me. We all will fail at things. I may lose. I may not have all the answers, but
10
at least I've
seconds.
tried. So, let me say good night. Thank you. With this last thought.
Okay.
true desire in the
That's,
heart for anything good.
That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
And a little extra. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Plaskett, go ahead. 3 minutes.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor to serve in the appointed position these last 17 months. Like I mentioned before, I'm just really getting my feet under me and understanding the gravity of some of the decisions we have to make for the entire county. They're not easy ones. That's why there's 3 of us. There's a lot of different opinions, and we deliberate quite well, I think. The meetings sometimes go a little long, but that's what it takes. I'm not opposed to them taking longer, because we have to make the best decision with the information that we're provided. I will continue to practice staying in my lane, not micromanaging, and just rely on our department heads and the teams to work together. The transparency is a big issue that I take very seriously, and encourage you to go out and vote. November 5th is the biggest day for everyone, not just us, but this whole country. So thank you for your time, and also Mr. Rain and his team for putting this together, and Tracey.
Thank you. That concludes our debate. Thank you for everyone for coming out tonight and listening to all this. Would you like to shake hands or proceed or go out? Okay, good. Need a photo op? All right. Thank you everyone for coming out. That concludes our debate. We'll have a recording put out on the county website. We'll be providing copies to each of the candidates, so they'll post it, and it's currently put on Tyler's Facebook page, the live stream that we had here, and also my X page. It's the whole live stream has been recorded, so you can see that tonight or share it around if you'd like. And we will have the full recording put out in a couple days and then put on the county website. Thank you for coming out.